reports indicate lots of enemy movement in that area. We're on a schedule here, so get that intel and get out fast.
Roger that. Never thought I'd see this again.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm out back at Activision here with Mark Rubin from Infinity Ward. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing real good. It's good to see you. So I just got out of seeing the game, showing off a handful of single-player levels, and they all have variety to them. I mean, you know, there's the section, the first section has you with Riley, the service dog. Yeah. Then there's the rappelling section, and then the underwater section. Is that something that is... Like, is variety one of the key themes here? Are you trying to spread that throughout the game?
It actually is. You know, I go back to COD 2 days at Infinity Ward, and when we made COD 2, we actually had basically every level was like an 11. So it was like 11 across the board. And so one of the things we did with COD 4 was specifically aimed to give some peaks and valleys. You know, make it more of the roller coaster ride. Have some stealth missions. We had AC-130. You know, you had all gillied up, and then you had the big, massive Call of Duty moments.
Right.
So one of the things we wanted to try to concentrate on this game was bring that kind of back, that style back. And so everything, you notice, everything we're showing is kind of stealthy.
But that's not to say that there are not going to be sequences where there's like 80 dudes running at you and you're just kind of mowing them down, right?
Yeah, we'll still have Call of Duty moments like that, but we wanted to make sure you got all of it.
You are not the dog. You are not Riley, but you still control Riley. In the demo, they say this is real. Is this really real?
This is real. One of the ideas that went up was having a dog in your squad. We kind of looked at it and go, okay, that sounds good. We can put a dog in the squad. He'll be an AI guy. He'll run around. He'll chew on things, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And so we kept that one, and then we said, okay, well, we got to find out more about how dogs are used and what they do and how all this works. And so we brought in a retired Navy SEAL and his service dog, and he actually brought all his equipment with him. And so we spent like a whole day at the studio just talking with the SEAL about how that dog is trained. That vest actually that you see the dog wearing is the vest that we photographed that day at the studio that he brought in. And what it is it's basically, it's got this flip-up camera on his back, and the SEAL has a screen that he can look at and he can see everything through that camera. And then the dog has an earpiece. And the SEAL can give commands to the dog as if he were a squad member. And the dog's obviously trained in multiple things. It's trained to like search for explosives. The trainer can do all the stuff that you wouldn't be able to do with a normal trained dog, right? Yeah. And then it goes further. The dog's actually wearing this collar that has these two vibration devices on his neck. And the SEAL can actually, almost like a video game, looking through the camera, basically push buttons that make each either left or right vibrate, and you can guide the dog around. You can steer the dog. And we got to play with that in the studio, and it's absolutely amazing. We were floored by it. We had no idea. We had no concept that this existed at all. And we were just thinking, oh, it'd be cool. What does the dog do when he's running around doing dog stuff? And it's like, oh, you do that also?
Riley, search.
So, I mean, off the announcement of the game, I mean, everyone has been talking about dogs. It's just been nonstop dog talk. It is straight up dog time. Call of Duty Ghosts, dog time. Like how is that? How has the studio taken that? Is it just been crazy?
So much fun. A huge smile on everybody's face at the studio, but it also did something else, and I thought it was really interesting. So what happened was, when the dog blew up, and there was a lot of comments about
You blew up the dog?
The dog blew up. The dog blew up, and we had to put him back together or get another dog. And we were all kind of like, oh crap. You know, all the designers kind of paused and were like, should we rework the story of the dog? You know, should we add or remove or change some outcome that we had planned? And everybody kind of froze in this sort of like deer in headlights kind of thing of, what should we do? The dog's so popular. We have to make sure his story is right. Are we doing it right? And then he kind of that went on for like days.
You were going to kill the dog, weren't you?
No, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I'm not going to say.
All right.
We got the team back on track and just said, look, forget about what you're hearing. Just do the game that you're trying to make the dog story the way you want to make them, and move on. But there was this literally this week of
should we put the dog in every level? Like, what, you know, like, yeah. So, because
they wear scuba gear. Okay, we could do this. We could do this.
you could have Riley like pilot the missile in at the end and let go, and
Exactly.
yeah, there's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're moving to a new generation technology here.
Yeah.
You know, you're focusing a lot on some of the tech, the sub D and higher polys and all that sort of stuff. It looks really nice. Like, how long has that taken? Has that been an arduous process just to like figure out where you want to take this thing?
We went to different people who had done this before, and we went to actually a lot of Hollywood people who've done Hollywood pre-rendered CG, and their input and their work actually on the game has helped us get to the point that we're at without taking 5 years.
Right.
So, we basically just expanded out, got a lot of great people working on it, and we're able to do what you're seeing. And actually, one thing that you don't get from all the videos you've seen online is it's not just the visuals. We actually retooled completely the audio engine. And we added it's called an ADSR system, and it's not something we made up. It's some actual internet thingy, and it means some weird acronym of some kind.
Attack, decay, release.
You know
sustain.
it. You know it. That's it.
It's the standard
Yeah.
sound curve thing.
Yeah, that's it. You know it. Okay, so we implemented a custom ADSR reverb system that basically models all the geometry, and the sound now travels and bounces in a real way. So in the past, basically what you would do is you would basically, when you're outside and you shoot a gun, it makes a long tail. You have this long reverb tail, and when you're inside, it's a short snap. Right? So usually what game developers do is they make an inside sound and an outside sound. When I'm inside, play this. When I'm outside, play that.
Yeah.
So that's simple, and we've done it in the past too. But now it's actually being calculated in real time, not pre-programmed. And also volume, the space volume determines how it's going to sound. So I'm in a small room and it's a very short snap. I'm in a bigger room, still inside. It's a little bit of a tail, but not the big long tail that you get outside. We've also, on top of that, we've added a material as being a part of this. So if I'm near a stone, if I'm like in a stone building, there's a sharp, very clean sound. If I go into a metal like container, it's a very tingy metallic sound.
Right.
So, and all that's calculated real time. It's not like pre-set up.
And does that apply to every sound of the game? Like if you're hearing enemy dialogue, it's going to echo in realistically, or is it simply gunshots, kind of everything?
I think it's everything but dialogue, because I think dialogue's in a different channel, because you have to be able to make sure you're hearing it correctly.
Right.
So. And actually, on top of that, speaking of other things other than gunshots, we added basically the whole world now is covered in these things called reactive emitters. And basically what happens is, let's say I throw a grenade, right? And you get the normal explosion sound. Well, now what happens is all of the materials in the world have a sound based off that explosion. What that means is I throw a grenade and let's say there's a chain link fence over here, or there's a metal grate behind me, or a metal door or something.
Right.
They shake and make sound based on
okay.
that emission from that thing. So you'll hear stuff all around you as explosions and stuff go off.
And then, obviously you're super focused on single player here.
Yes.
I could ask you a billion multiplayer questions and have you not answer them.
Yes.
But the one thing that did come out was a greater focus on customization, like visual customization for characters. That was something that I always thought was a deliberate design choice, to not have that, so that you could tell what primary weapon someone was holding by whether they had a ghillie suit or something like that.
Yes.
Do you worry about the silhouettes changing? And I mean, I imagine that's something that only 5% of the hardcore players will care about, but they will probably care about it a lot.
We still care about it.
Yeah.
And we took that into account.
Okay.
So there's character customization, but we do take into account your weapon loadouts, and that changes your silhouette even if you've customized your character a little bit. So you can't, you're not going to be able to customize your character to be a heavy machine LMG guy, but you're actually carrying an SMG. Okay. That kind of thing. So
now it's a new engine. You've rebuilt tons of stuff here.
Yes.
One of the things that I always thought was kind of funny and cool was that there was always this id Software license. Was it network code or something from this legacy thing? There was some id. I mean, is that still? Do you think the new game will have an id copyright on it somewhere?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything's still in flux, I'm sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, engine-wise, there's not anything left.
I know it's a super esoteric question. But it's just one of those things that whenever you see it and go, there's
really
cool
don't
that
know.
The most popular game still has some legacy back to Doom and Quake and all this really great stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That was always an interesting one for me. So
I don't
all right,
know. I wonder if we put it in now as just sort of fan service.
right. And for the fans, love it software. Yeah,
I kind of like it.
yeah.
But I'm an old school PC guy.
Cool.
So.
All right. So you're out on current gen platforms in November.
November 5th.
Okay, and then
NPC.
okay, right, and PC. Next gen launch games.
Launch. So
okay,
whenever they announce, I have
whenever,
no idea.
I think they both said November, but they haven't gotten more specific than that.
Yeah,
but-
that's
but
all
okay.
I got too now.
All right.
Actually, I learned that when you guys learned
Right,
it.
I know. Yeah,
They didn't tell us.
Yeah, but you know the price and all that other stuff. Yeah,
I didn't know
what a-
anything.
what a
We didn't even
crazy-
see the thing until they showed
Right.
it to you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so that's what it's gonna look like.
It's got a slant to it. It's like
yeah.
weird, but
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Mark, thank you very much for your time. Have a good rest of the show.
Thanks. You too, man.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too.